Okay, so as we discussed yesterday, we gone through the full data types except relationship. Formula we went through it, and remaining all the fields we went through it, and the formula also we gone through it. But again, we yet to go through the functions, like list of functions. Just we gone through only very one or two functions, but yeah, it could to go through the functions. So today we will go through that, and validation rule we'll go through that as well. And yesterday itself we finished dependent pick list. Yep. And today let's finish the relationship completely, and then we will move on to the functions. Yeah. Okay. So to finish the relationship, I would like to create one more additional objects. So let's say like we have an employee object. Now I am going to create another one more object called salary or leave. So let's go ahead with the leave, or yeah, I think leave is the good one, or salary also, whatever it is. So go to object manager, create a new object, salary, salaries. Yep. There is no salary name, so I'm going to put salary ID. It's an auto number. I would say yes hyphen 00 starting number 1. Save. So just tab visibility, and I will include only the HR management tab. Okay. And within that salary, what are the fields we need? So first of all, let's understand what is the relationship between the employee and the salary. So we do have two object now. One is employee object, another one more salary object. Now, to create a relationship between these two, which one is the parent and which one is the child? Out of these two objects, first you need to understand which one is the parent and which one is the child. Any idea?
Employee is the parent.
Why?
Because employee has a unique ID, we can refer that to in salary object.
Okay. And anybody?
But based on the employee only, we are going to create other objects like leave or anything that any other object that you're creating will be linked only to the employee.
Yeah, I got that, but we are not talking about like other objects. Now between employee and the salary, which one is the parent and which one is the child? If employee is a parent, why?
That's what, like based on the employee only, you'll be creating many objects. So that would be the primary object, right? So it's about
Yeah,
that.
instead of saying the primary object, basically employee can have a multiple salary, correct? So employee can have a multiple salary. So
In the
if you
sense
look at that
that
scenario, one employee can have multiple salaries, right?
how?
Employee can have a multiple salary, right? Every month, like we are going to create additional salaries.
Oh, okay, that way. Okay.
One employee, we are going to create like a multiple salaries. So this month salary, okay, next month salary, another month salary, another month salary.
Got it.
So yeah, so look at that scenario. Same way, What is the relationship between the customer and the product?
One customer can buy many products.
Okay. Same way, one product can buy many customer, right?
Yes.
So basically, between the customer and the product, it's a many-to-many relationship.
Mm.
Here, one-to-many relationship. Here, many-to-many relationship. If it's a many-to-many relationship, means there is a different procedures. If it's a one-to-many relationship, it's just a simple either lookup or masters. So right now, don't worry about the many-to-many relationship. Let's focus on the one-to-many relationship. So if it's a one-to-many relationship, the primary object is employee, which is parent, and the salary is the child, because parent can have a multiple childs.
Mm.
Yeah. So parent can have a multiple child. Just link the scenario. So one parent can have a multiple child. Okay. Now we understood which one is the parent and which one is the child. Now, which relationship we will create, whether it's a lookup or master. So which is good. So we need to identify. So to identify that, first of all, you need to understand the difference between lookup and master. Then you can choose which one you want to do it. Okay. So lookup is basically loosely coupled relationship between the parent and the child. The bonding, like the relationship is loose. So we don't know, like for this child who is the parent, like we cannot identify. Maybe there could be many parent. So the relationship is loosely coupled relationship. But where in case of master detail, the relationship is tightly coupled. We know, so each child tied up with the parents. Without parent, you cannot create a child basically in master detail relationship. But where in case of lookup, without parent, you can go and create a child. That's possible actually. And here you can link using the lookup, you can link it to maximum 40 different tables. If you are using the lookup relationship, so employee to salary, employee to leave, employee to like that, you can link it to more than 40. Yeah, maximum 40 table you can link using the lookup. But where in case of master, if you take a master data relationship, you can link in the particular object, single object, you can have a maximum 2 master data relationship. Yeah, in lookup, maximum in a single object, you can have a 40 lookup relationship. But here in master data, in a single object, you can have a maximum 2 master data relationship. And same way, lookup is by default non-required field. But here it's a global required field. Basically, it's always required field. Globally, it's required. Without filling the master data, you cannot create a child records. So basically, without filling the employee, you cannot create a salary. And if you delete the parent record, child records never deleted. So it won't delete the child record. But where in case of master record, if you delete the parent record, its associated child also will get deleted. So if you decided like you don't want this employee, like you are going to delete permanently from the database, means it will remove the salary as well, like associated salary record as well. And the ownership determined by separately. Employee owner is different, salary owner is different, because the relationship between these two loosely coupled. But where in case of master detail relationship, parent ownership defined based on the parent. There is no, in child there is no ownership, only parent there is ownership. If you have access to the parent record, by default automatically you will have access to the child record. And in lookup relationship, roll-up summary field not applicable. You cannot create a roll-up summary field if there is a lookup relationship between the objects. Where in case of master detail, yes, the roll-up summary field is applicable. You can go and create a roll-up summary field on a parent object. Then unable to update the parent record from a child. So if you are from the salary record, you are not able to update the parent employee because the lookup relationship, because you don't know which parent. There is a possibility there will be a multiple parents. So we cannot identify which is the right parent and we cannot update that. But where in case of master detail, you know who is the parent, easily you can update the parent record. And then if there are any record present in the child object, let's assume if there are any record means, so in employee, we have already some records. Same way for salary also, if there are some records, assume in salary also, there are some records. If there are some record present on the child object, you cannot create a master data relationship. But lookup is possible to create. We can make the relationship even if there is a record in child object. Okay, so we'll go through all this in practical. I'm going to show you one by one. So yeah, now I created salary object. Now to create a relationship on the child object, you have to create a either lookup or master. So now I am in the child object, which is salary. So let's create a new field. First we'll go for a lookup and then we'll go for a master. So initially I will go ahead with the lookup and I will show you what are the benefits and drawbacks. And same way we will go for a master and then I can show you accordingly. So click on the lookup relationship. Here you have to choose the employee object. Employee visible. Save. Now I'll create some additional fields also. So which is salary. Or amount instead of salary, amount. And one more additional field, date, when we given the salary, date. So and one more additional fields, which is status, whether it's paid or pending or in progress, something like that. Let's maintain the status as well, which is a pick list. So this is generic to only salary object. So we don't want to create a global pick list. Let's go for a generic value. So status is paid, pending, in progress, on hold. Maybe use first value as a default, paid as a default. Visible. So now you'll see we created a lookup relationship between the employee and salary, this object. Now let's go and create a one salary. So for this employee, see, once if we create a relationship, you can access the related record from the related list. So on the employee object, if you go to the related list, you can see salary, you can create a new salary. Or you can go here and create a new at the time you need to search for employee. But again, you will see here, this is not a mandatory field. And there is a separate owner for salary. Let's say like if I put like 5,000 this month end paid, or I will go previous month paid. But now, without filling the employee detail, system allowing me to create a entry, right? I can create a salary without filling the employee. That is the one drawback in the lookup. Then you will see the ownership. Employee, there is a separate ownership. There is a owner field. Salary, there is a separate owner field. Yeah, so basically, the sharing options. If I am sharing the employee to my another user in my company, there is a finance user, I am sharing the employee to my finance user. They don't have access to salary. Again, I have to share the salary as well. Then only they will have access to the salary. That is the additional drawbacks, because you have to share both record, because the ownership is indifferent. Employee, there is a separate ownership. Salary, there is a separate ownership. So you need to share the record on both objects. Then only the user will have access to it. But where in case of master, if you share the employee record alone, by default, he can see all associated salaries. Yeah, in case of lookup, you have to share the employee and also you have to share the associated salary. How many salary is associated to this employee, you have to share it with them. Then only they can see employee and they can see salary. If you are not sharing the salary, they cannot see it. Now I will associate one of the employee. So let's say William. So now if I go back to the William, I can see it here. Again, at the moment it's a lookup only. Yeah. So now if I look at Excel sheet, just ignore these two. It's a non-required field. Without filling the information, you can. And ownership determined separately. Now let's look at the roll-up summary. So basically the roll-up summary field, you have to look it on the parent object. Now if I look at the parent object, which is employee, if you create a roll-up summary field, see, still is not enabled. Yeah, still the roll-up summary field is not enabled because the relationship between the, I will create a one more salary. Okay. Now there are two salaries. Now I want to know how much amount we given to this particular employee, because you need to calculate the sum of all the salaries, right? You need to know like what is the total amount. So how do we calculate that? For that you need a roll-up summary field. Now the roll-up summary field is not available because between the two object, employee and salary, lookup relationship. So if it's a lookup relationship, you cannot create a roll-up summary field. That is this one. So this one we will look at like while doing the automation process. So on the workflow, you come to know like you cannot identify the parent record basically on the lookup. Even if you
But-
identified, like you cannot update it because it's a loosely coupled relationship.
Sampath, I have a question.
Yeah.
But see, you entered like post dated date and said the salary is paid. How can a future date the salary could have been already paid? Technically, it's wrong, right?
Technically it's wrong. You can go and put a validation rule on that. So if it's a future date, throw an error message. That's fine. Like, yeah, this is just for a sample. I am putting it.
No, no, I understand. I know it was for sample, but if you have to not validate all those kinds, you have a separate thing to do that.
Yes, there is a validation available. We have to do it.
Okay, okay,
So which we'll go through it.
okay, all right.
Okay. The next one is we can make the relationship if the child record, let's say, even if the data is present in the child, how many record present in the salaries? There are two. If the record is already present in the salaries, you can create a lookup some like a lookup relationship. But if the record is present in the salary and if it's associated to an employee, let's say there is a one record, okay, it's not associated. There are two record. One is associated to an employee and another one more record is associated to like another record is not associated to an employee. In that case, you cannot create a master data relationship because you have to match each child to a parent, then only you can create a master data relationship. So generally, if you want to create a relationship between the two objects, and if the child object having a record, first you need to create a lookup relationship and change the every salary object you have to relate to an employee. Once if you match all the salary record, if you have a 2000 record or 3000, whatever it is, you have to match all the record to an employee, then you can change the relationship from lookup to master. Now if I go for a salary, change the relationship. Now let's assume this record I didn't map it. Let's say like I'll remove this. So in child object we have a record. This is not mapped, this is mapped. Now if I try to create if I try to change the lookup to a master, I'm going to change the data type from lookup to master. Previously it was a lookup. Now I'm going to change it into master. So I'm changing into master. By default it's a mandatory. So yeah, and see here. Are you able to read the error message? So you cannot create a new master data relationship on an existing custom object if record already exists. You must create a lookup relationship and populate the lookup field with a data in all records and then change the relationship, because at the moment this one entry is not linked to a parent. Now if I link it to a parent, then if I try to change this, from lookup to master, I would like to change now. Now the system will allow me. So basically, so if I click next, save, see, it got changed now. Previously is not allowed because there are some record is not linked to a parent. So now if I try to create a new salary, see here, the employee is mandatory. Without filling the employee, let's say like I am going to fill see, you must enter the employee. Without filling the employee, you cannot save the record. And now you will see there is a previously there is a one owner field here, right? But now the owner field is gone because this record controlled by parent. If you have access to the parent record, by default, you will have access to all the child records if there is a master data relationship, because the permission controlled by parent. And now if you delete the parent record, child record will delete it automatically. Like if I delete this employee, all three salary, how many salaries associated to an employee will remove automatically because of the master data relationship. Where in case of lookup, if I delete an employee, this record, it won't be deleted, it will be there in the salary object. It will be here available actually, if it's a lookup. Okay, now if I look at the roll-up summary field on an employee object, see here, now you can create a roll-up summary field, because between the employee and the salary there is a master data relationship. Because of that, the system will allow you to create a roll-up summary. Okay, let's create a total amount. Total amount as of now. So here salary, I need a sum of all the amount field, or sum of only the paid amount alone. So status is equal to paid. You can put like this filter condition also. Either you can take all the record or you can put a conditions. So next, save. Now if I look at an employee, see here, yeah, so it will calculate the child record total sum and it will give you. Same way, if you want to know how many salaries, so this is the amount, but you want to know number of salaries, how many salary we given to them, then simply take the count. Yeah, you will get the count 3 like that. That is also, you may need to create another one more roll-up summary field on the employee object. Just a count. Here also we can go for a condition, status is equal to paid. So if I refresh it, see, yeah, so basically it will count all the related child object, like how many records, what is the total, and what is the minimum value, minimum, or what is the maximum. So easily we can calculate if there is a master data relationship between the object. Now based on your requirement, based on the client requirement, you can go ahead and create a relationship. Either it could be a lookup or either it could be a master. Okay, so any question on the relationship?
Is it possible to even find out like for which all months it was paid? Like you said, you can take the count, no?
Yeah,
Only the number can be seen, or even the details of when all it was paid. For example, if it was missed for some month for some reason.
so
Can
yeah,
that-
what you can do for the detail, you can see it here, right?
Oh, okay.
So here we can add all the columns, like what are the day amount column, date column, everything you can add it.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Okay.
on the employee detail page, you can see related list.
Okay, okay.
So we will add all the columns. That is again one more session. So customizing the page layout. So during that topic, we can see like how we can align these fields. We have to align it properly, right? At the moment, like the fields are like scattered into different places, and it's not
Okay.
aligned properly. It's not
Okay.
ordered properly. Same way, like here there is no proper fields. I can see only ID, but based on this ID is nothing to me. I don't
Yeah.
know. We
Yeah,
need to know
correct.
what month and what is the amount, what is the status. So we have to put
And
all the columns here.
okay,
We'll go through that on the page layout customization.
okay, okay.
Okay. So now you can decide, and the maximum, see if there is a requirement, if you want, once the parent is deleted, if you want to delete the child record, then you can go for a lookup. Then you can go for a master. Else, always go for a lookup. My suggestion is that better go for a lookup only if you want to calculate the roll-up summary field. Really, you need a roll-up summary field, then go for a master. So mainly roll-up summary field, and if you want to, the child record will be removed automatically from the system. You don't want to maintain the child record. In that case, you can go for a master. Otherwise, go for a lookup. So maximum we go for a lookup actually in the real-time scenario. Okay. So to create a lookup relationship between the object, so link each record to a parent. Link each record to a parent and then convert into a master detail relationship records. Basically, like you need to convert the master detail relationship.
Sampath,
Yeah.
you're saying that when a child record has been deleted, yeah, in master
Yeah.
detail. Now, I'm like, how does you know that which one is master and which one is lookup? Like when you see that, any
Here
ident-
itself we can see it, right? Like, well, that's what first time we decided, right?
yeah,
So which one is a parent, which one is a child?
yeah, employee is a parent and then salary is a child. Yeah,
Yeah. So here you can identify. Now, if you are deleting it here, so let's say if
Now-
you delete, yeah. So now if you delete the parent record here, Williams, it will remove all the child. See, now if you go and look at, there is no records because the record associated to an employee all deleted.
okay.
If the record is associated, if the salary record associated to a different employee, that will be there because yeah.
For example, if you have given a master detail there,
Yeah.
when you deleted salary, yeah, I mean like employee won't be deleted, right?
No. If you delete a salary, apply because you are deleting the child record, so it won't impact in the parent, even if it's a master.
Okay.
Even if it's a master or even if it's a lookup, because you are deleting the child, you are not touching the parent.
Okay.
Okay. So now there is an option like a recycle bin. So once if you deleted, you can restore the information from the recycle bin. Yeah. So from the recycle bins here, you can restore it. Okay. So the same way in lookup, if let's assume like you have a lookup relationship between the employee and salary. At that time, if you delete the parent object, let's say like if you are deleting the employee, yeah. So if you are deleting the employee, it won't delete the salaries because between the employee and the salary is lookup relationship. Got it? Hello?
Yes, Sampath. Yeah.
Okay. So again, so from the once the record is deleted, you can restore it from the recycle bin. So simply you go to the recycle bin. Previously, like it was available in classic only. Now they given like even a lightning experience as well. So go to the recycle bin as a separate tab, and you can restore it. Maximum lifetime on the recycle bin is 15 days. So within 15 days, you have to restore it. After 15 days, you cannot. It will remove permanently. Okay, so that is the lifetime of recycle bin. So yeah, any record deleted from the system, it will be there in the recycle bin, and the lifetime is 15 days. Within 15 days, you can restore it. After 15 days, you cannot. Okay, fine. I think that meeting going to be end. Let's rejoin it. Yeah. Okay, so any other question on the relationship side? So for many to many, we will go through it. I don't want to make you confused now itself. We will go through it like the many to many slowly. Okay, so give me a minute. So yeah, once it's disconnected, then yeah, I will stop recording.